Mike in Brownstone, Indiana. Great to have you on the EIB network. Hi.
Hi, Mr. Limbaugh. I'd like to talk about the turkeys.
You go right ahead. It's Thanksgiving Eve.
Oh, those turkeys. Anyway, I'm a Purdue graduate from West Lafayette, Indiana, and that was in the 70s. I'm 57 years old now, and I still in agriculture, but no longer raising livestock.
When you look back on your college years, how valuable to you was your degree?
It really didn't become that valuable until 20 years ago. I went back to the family farm, and whatever Dad done, we just followed right along, and I used that education to further the farm. He sold the farm 20 years ago, and I switched gears and went into the lawn business, and I'm a chemical a lawn specialist. I'd like to say an environmentalist to some extent.
Well, if you want to be called that, I mean, go for it.
I'm not a tree hugger necessarily.
That's what they all say.
Yeah, but the point is I had some animal science classes, and this was in the 70s, and we all got opportunity to watch them butcher hogs right there on campus, and they took this meat and then laid it out, and they had 5 different hogs laying there, and they pointed out especially that light-colored meat, and explained the texture of it and how watery it was, and some of us boys were going to go back to the food industry.
Well, why was this?
Pardon me?
Why was this?
Okay.
Why was it pale? Why was it watery?
Well, it was a genetic issue. Some of the livestock was perfect.
You mean it had nothing to do with global warming?
Gosh, no. This guy who's ever talking about that needs to do some research, because this is in the 70s before any global warming was talked
back then
about.
it was global cooling. It was an ice age was coming. Tell me something. Isn't the biggest problem with raising poultry is trying to keep them warm, like chicks? I mean, you put them in an incubator. You want to keep them warm, right?
That's correct.
Well, problem solved. It can't be global warming then. If heat is needed to keep them alive and surviving, this is all. I can't believe that they would do this. The Discovery Channel, this is the place where that environmentalist wacko tried to blow them up. Took some hostages in there. So this probably is a story designed to keep further wackos from bugging them. But to say, to do a story on the day before Thanksgiving that global warming, climate change is going to destroy the Thanksgiving meal, that's preposterous. And you can attest to it.
Yes. Yes, it was information to help us take back to the farm, or those of us that are going to be in the meat industry,
right,
to pick these things out and see, maybe that's the packer. Our feeling as a farmer was to buy the meat as cheap as they could, and we would sell it to them on grade and yield, and then they would pick out these bad things, and then our price for our product we'd get less for. So if we could upgrade our genetics, get a better quality animal, then we could make more money.
Well, but then you got to start playing God.
That's true, but that's the way ag has been.
I have a friend who raises tilapia fish, Steve Abernathy, and I call him the fish god because his problem, he needs as many females as possible laying eggs, and he takes tilapia and he turns them into females with genetic altering. I call him a fish god.
Well, I'm a capitalist. And the key thing is want to get better, want to try and support my family, and I guess have to pay my taxes.
Well, Mike Ditka was on the ESPN pregame show recently, and they were talking about some team, something they had to do. And Ditka says, there's only 2 things in life you have to do: die and pay taxes. And that's it. So you're focused. You're trying to do what's right for your family. I want to take advantage of your experience. You're agriculturist. You understand animals. You've studied them, right?
Right.
Does a fish know it is wet?
It'll die if it's not in water very long, so I'm sure it does.
The fish knows it's wet. The fish knows it lives in water. We'll be back. It's a Stump the Caller Day.